Today we're making these super cute coasters. They're very easy and fast to make. For materials, you're going to need some yarn. You're going to need 3 different colors, one for the base, one for the stem, and one for the flowers. I'm using this jeans brand yarn that I found on Amazon. It's a size 2 yarn and it requires a 3.5mm hook, but I'm using a 3mm hook. So if you're using a size 4 yarn and it requires a 5mm hook, go down half a hook size. So do like 4.5mm. And then you also need a darning needle, a stitch marker, and scissors. Okay, start by grabbing the color for the base and make a magic circle. To make a magic circle, wrap the yarn like this around your 2 fingers and make an X, like that. Grab your hook facing downwards like this, and then insert it straight and grab the top yarn and then twist. And then grab the top yarn again and pull through the loop on the hook. And you have a magic circle. And then just chain 2. So this is a magic circle and chain 2. This chain does not count as a stitch, it's just a chain. And now for the first round, we're going to do 12 double crochets. So 12 double crochets in the circle. To make a double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook through the circle, yarn over, pull a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So this is our first double crochet. If you're a beginner, put a stitch marker here in that first V, in the first double crochet. This is where we're going to end the round, where we're going to slip stitch at the end of the round. So just make sure you put a stitch marker there if you're a beginner. Okay, so now do 11 more double crochets. So that's 1 double crochet, and then 2, and then just keep going until you have 12 double crochets total in the magic circle, and I'll meet you back once we have 12. So that's 12 double crochets here in the circle, and then grab the short tail end of the yarn right here and close your circle. And now in this first double crochet that we did, this first one, make sure you do a slip stitch. So remove the stitch marker and then do a slip stitch in that first double crochet. So those are our 2 chains at the beginning. We ignore those, we just put it in the first double crochet. And this is round 1. We did 12 double crochets. Round 1 is now completed. To begin round 2, you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then in that same space where we just slip stitched right here, you're going to make a double crochet increase. To make a double crochet increase, you will make 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And so make the first double crochet, that's 1, and if you're a beginner, put a stitch marker. And then in that same stitch where we just put 1 double crochet, you'll make another double crochet. So that's 2 double crochets in 1 space. In the next chain, or in the next stitch, you'll do the same thing, just 2 double crochets. So that's 4 double crochets so far in 2 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll just continue that until the end. You'll put 2 double crochets in each stitch. So that's 4, and then 5 and 6 8, 9, and 10. So just keep going until you have 24 double crochets total. So we started the round with 12. The second round is going to be 24 double crochets until we reach the last stitch, and then I will meet you back at the end at our last 2 double crochets. Okay, I'm at my last 2 double crochets, so 23 and 24 in this last stitch. This 23 and 24. So that's 24 double crochets. This right here is not a stitch. This was the slip stitch that we did earlier in the previous round. And then we did the 2 chains, and then this is our double crochet from the beginning of the round. This is where we're gonna slip stitch. So make sure you have 24 double crochets and then slip stitch on the first double crochet right here. And this completes round 2. Now for round 3, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna just chain 2 to start the round. And then in that same space where we just chained 2, you'll make just 1 double crochet. So a double crochet, and then make sure you mark it. And then in the next stitch, you'll make a double crochet increase. So 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. 1 and 2. And then in the next one, you'll make just 1 double crochet. And the one after that, you'll make 2, so an increase. And you'll just follow this pattern. You do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, until we reach the last stitch. The last stitch should be an increase. If you started with just 1, your last one should be an increase. And at the end of the round, you should have 36 stitches. So I'll meet you back at that last stitch. So I'm at the end of round 3 here. I have 1 stitch left, and this is going to be an increase. So 35 and 36. This round should have 36 stitches total. And then you'll make a slip stitch at the first double crochet. Remember, this is our slip stitch and chain 2. We ignore those, and we put a stitch mark or slip stitch at the first double crochet. And then now I know this looks small. If you're using the same yarn, it looks pretty small, but don't worry about it. We'll just cut the yarn here, pull it and cut it, and we'll grab the stem color. When we do the other 2 rounds, it's going to stretch out. So just pull this out, and we are done with this color. Now grab the color for your stem and grab your hook. Insert your hook here where we just did the slip stitch and closed the round. Insert your hook here. So this is where we closed, and this stitch right here. And then pull a loop. So wrap the stem color around your hook like this, and then pull it through like that. Like this. And then chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, so this counts as a stitch. And so since it counts as a stitch, we're gonna put a stitch marker right here on that 3rd chain. So grab your stitch marker and put it here on that 3rd chain. So in between those 2 bars. In between the top 2 bars, put your stitch marker. This is where we're gonna close the round at the end. Just make sure everything is tight. And then now we're going to do a double crochet in that same stitch. So this is our first double crochet, another double crochet here in that same stitch. So since this chain 3 counts as a double crochet, we have 2 double crochets in one stitch. And after we do 2 double crochets here with the stem color, we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to skip a stitch. So this stitch right here next to the double crochets, this right here, we're skipping that. We chained 1 and we're skipping a stitch. And then in the next one, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then do another one here, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we did 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And we're going to repeat that. Chain 1, skip a stitch, and then 2 double crochets. And then do that again, chain 1, skip a stitch. Make sure you're skipping a stitch. And then the next one, you'll do 2 double crochets. And then keep doing that, a chain 1, and then skip a stitch, and then 2 double crochets. Remember, we're doing the 2 double crochets in the same stitch. In each stitch, we're doing 2 double crochets. So chain 1, skip a stitch, and then 2 double crochets in that next one. And then we're going to repeat that until the end. So chain 1, skip a stitch, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip a stitch, 2 double crochets. And I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so here I am about to do my last 2 double crochets. So I already did my 2 double crochets here, chain 1, and I have 3 stitches left. So we're skipping this one. Like always, we've always been skipping a stitch, and then in that middle one, we're gonna do the 2 double crochets. And then we should have 1 stitch left here. And so for this, we're gonna do as we've been doing, chain 1, and then we skip that one, that last stitch that we have, and then we will do a slip stitch in the chain 3 in the 3rd chain here where we put the stitch marker. So remove the stitch marker, and then that's 1, 2, 3 in that 3rd chain. You're gonna do a slip stitch. And now this is completed. You can pull the yarn and cut it. For this next round, grab the color that you want to use for the flower. And then you're going to insert your hook in this space right here. So this is where we closed off the round, in this space, not in between the double crochets. You're gonna do it before that, so right here in that chain space. So insert your hook, grab your flower color or tulip color, and then pull it through that space. And then here you're going to chain 1. And then that's it with this space right here. Now you're gonna insert your hook in between the 2 double crochets. So remember how we did 2 double crochets in some of the stitches in the previous round? Insert your hook in between them. So right here. So in this space, not in this stitch, just in this space. So just in the space right here. Insert it and make a slip stitch. And now you're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we're gonna yarn over, insert the hook, and then pull up a loop and pull it like this. So that we're gonna make clusters. We're not gonna close this, we're just gonna yarn over, insert the hook, and pull up a loop. So that's twice, and then we're gonna do that another time, 3, and then 4, and then 5. So at the end you should have 11 loops on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you're gonna pull it through 10. So pull it through all except for the first loop on your hook. So you're gonna pull it through 10, yarn over, pull through 10. And so you should have 2 loops left on your hook. And then yarn over, pull through 2, like that. And then chain 2, 1, 2, and then slip stitch in that space, not between the double crochets. You're just gonna slip stitch in that space right after the double crochet, so the chain space from the previous round. So insert the hook in the middle here, and then do a slip stitch. And then you can fix that by just put your finger in the middle and the back like that, and then puff it up from the back. So now again, insert the hook in the middle of the 2 double crochets that we did in the previous round, in the middle, not in the stitch, in the middle of the space, like right here, just in the middle. And then do a slip stitch. And then do the same thing. So chain 2, 1 and 2. And then we're gonna do 5 yarn overs to make the cluster. So yarn over, insert the hook in the space, and then pull up a loop, and then pull it out like that, like make it far, make it a large loop. And then yarn over, insert the hook again in the space, yarn over, pull up a second loop. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should have 11 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all except for the last one. And then you should have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then chain 2, 1 and 2. And then in the chain space right here, not in between the bars, in the space next to it, you're going to slip stitch. And we're just kind of repeating this. So again, flip this up by pushing in the back. Make sure everything is tight. And then again, we're gonna do the other tulip. So insert the hook in this space right here. Make a slip stitch. And then chain 2, 1, 2. And then we're gonna do 5 yarn overs. So in that space, and just in the space, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then chain 2, 1 and 2. And then again, slip stitch here. Fluff it up, and then do that again. So slip stitch in between the space right here. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then do 5 yarn overs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. and then pull through 10, and then pull through 2, chain 2, slip stitch here in the chain space, and then just keep going with that, and I will meet you back at the end of the last tulip that we do. So I'll meet you back here towards the end. Okay, so here I am at the end of the round. So I just did this tulip, chained 2 like we've been doing, and then slip stitching in that space, in that chain space. And then we're gonna do the last tulip here, slip stitch in the space between the double crochets, slip stitch. Okay, so after the slip stitch here, you're gonna chain 2, 1 and 2, and then do the 5 yarn overs here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all except for the last one, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 2. And then now in this space right here, in that last space, you're going to slip stitch. And then here you can pull the yarn and cut it, but we're not done. Cut it. And then get your darning needle here. So whenever we joined the round, we chained. So we remember how we attached a color here and we did like a little chain here. This is that little chain. Just put the needle through it like that and then pull it through. This kind of brings it together. And then now just the tulips that have the chains showing at the front, push them like that with your finger just to make them prettier, make them more puffy. And then now you can weave in those ends. I did want to show you how I'm weaving in the ends. I know some of these tails are the top of the tulips, and so you could just put them through the chains here or like the double crochets in the back. We're working on the back side. And then pull it through to bring it down to the white area. And then just weave in like normal. And you're done. Your little coaster is completed. Thank you so much for watching.